What is going on, everyone? We are back in Trey Cash's career in Madden 17. We are back with the New York Jets, and we are on our bye week here in Week 7. And what a perfect time to take a break, take a minute, and take a look around the league. It's a little early, but we're doing a mid-season update here in Week 7, kind of half 7 and half 8. We're going to take a look at the stats here in Week 7, and then I'm going to simulate, and we're going to take a look at the standings as of Week 8. So first up, the stats. Trey Cash, 2,000 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. It has been a rough first half of the year. The yardage, as it always kind of has been, is there, 335 yards per game. 10 sacks, so actually the offensive line is protecting us okay, but the interception's way too high. Forte, just 3 yards per carry, 382 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he's fumbled it 4 times. He's got more fumbles than touchdowns. Has not been a good year for the running game. We've got 4 fumbles as well. Receiving, though, Austin Seferian-Jenkins, what a year this guy is having. 61 catches for 709 yards, 118 yards per game. Only 2 touchdowns, but we haven't really thrown a ton of touchdowns. Devin Smith, 435. Decker, only 273. He hasn't really been doing much in the offense. Anunwa, neither. Neither outside guy really is doing great. He's only got 216. And then Forte, just over 200. Chantrell Spires, the rookie, leading the team with 3 touchdowns to go along with 200 yards receiving. Now on to defense. It's Wilkerson leading us with 43 tackles. He also has 16 tackles for loss, which is quadruple the next guy behind him. He also is going to add 5 sacks. It's going to be 4 for Leonard Williams and Sheldon Richardson. And then interceptions is going to be all linebackers, 3 for David Harris and 1 for Anthony Hitchens. Now looking at the league leaders here, Trey way out in front for yardage. Aaron Rodgers behind him with 1,800. Blake Bortles, the only other guy over 1,800. Touchdowns, it's going to be Andy Dalton and Marcus Mariota tied for the lead with 13, and then a bunch of guys with 12. And then interceptions, Brock Osweiler has 9 picks. We have a rookie here with 8, and then a ton of guys with 7. So we're actually towards the bottom of this list, but we do have 7. So we are tied for the 3rd most in the league. Just too many. We got to cut down on that the rest of the year. Running game, LaShawn McCoy, 687 yards. Only 2 guys over 500. They both have over 600, and that's a big gap down to 400. And there's some odd names at the top of that list. Touchdowns, that's Lacey, White, and Gordon leading the league with 7. And then look at the average yards. Only 2 guys averaging over 100 yards, and you're not seeing some of the normal names. Ezekiel Elliott is there, but his yardage is way down, so a little bit weird. Now on to receiving. Seferian-Jenkins has a 21-catch lead over a fellow tight end, Jordan Reed. Then we have Dorial Green-Beckham with 39. This is even weirder than the running backs. You do not see some of the big names, Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, not on the top of this list. Seferian-Jenkins has a huge lead in yardage as well. Reed second in that one as well with 583. But then touchdowns, it's going to be Cole Beasley leading the league with 6, Jordan Reed with 5, and then you see some of the other guys there. So some weird numbers so far in this first half of the season on offense. And then you take a look at the defensive numbers here. Muhammad Wilkerson is leading the league in tackles for loss. He's got a 5-tackle cushion there. And then the sacks, it's 8.5 for Robert Quinn, 8 for Brendan Graham, and 7.5 for Corey Leggett. And then interceptions, it's going to be 4 for Corey Graham, Patrick Peterson, and Kyle Fuller. Now looking at the team stats, we are 2nd in offensive yards, 6th in defensive yards, so actually not bad for the offense and the defense, but we are 21st in points scored, and we are going to be, 16th in points allowed. So the offense is doing well in terms of moving the ball, but we cannot finish drives. I know we've had a huge problem with that. We cannot put touchdowns on the board. We got to do a better job of that in the second half of the season. You notice there on the bottom it said David Harris is not going to sign an extension, so it looks like he's headed to free agency, which is not good. Big part of this defense. But now looking at the standings here, Bengals lead the AFC North 5-2. Ravens, Browns, and Steelers awful. 2-4, 2-5, and 1-4-1. Browns have lost 5 in a row, so they are headed in the wrong direction. Bengals in very big command in that division. AFC South, it's the Titans at 5-2. Colts behind them at 4-2. Jaguars at 4-3, and the Texans at 1-6. So the Titans and Colts a little bit out there. Jaguars right there with them, but the Texans have fallen behind pretty far. AFC East, our division, we are in the lead at 4-2. Bills are 2-3-2. They tied again. Patriots are 2-5, and the Dolphins are 1-6. So as bad of a first half of the season as we've had, we are still nicely in first place, which is very nice to see. This is kind of like how our Bears franchise went last season, where we didn't have a great season, but we still won the division. AFC West, the Chiefs are undefeated, 7-0. Chargers 3-3. Broncos 3-3, and the Raiders 2-4-1. So it looks like the Raiders having another rough season. They didn't do well last year either. Moving on to the NFC North, Packers at 4-2, half a game ahead of the Vikings at 4-3. Bears at 3-3, and the Lions are at 2-5. Everyone on a winning streak there, so that division still probably up in the air. NFC South, Falcons are 4-2, Buccaneers are 4-3, Saints are 3-3, and the Panthers are 2-4-1. A lot of ties in this season. Haven't remember the last time I've seen this many ties in 1 year. Moving on to the NFC East, it is the Cowboys out in front at 4-2. They just lost though. Eagles are 4-3. Giants are 3-3, winners of 3 in a row, and the Redskins 2-4 have lost 3 in a row. So that division still anyone's game at this point. A lot of time left in the season. Redskins could definitely come back, climb back to the top of that division. Always competitive NFC East. And then finally, NFC West. This is the big surprise here. The 49ers are 5-1, winners of 4 in a row. Rams are 4-2, Cardinals are 4-3, and the Seahawks are 4-1, yet another tie. And that's the biggest surprise there, to see the Seahawks in last, 49ers in first. Now, looking at the AFC, the Chiefs are out there in front, 2-game cushion for that home field advantage, and then a lot of teams with 2 losses, but we don't have to worry about that too much. As long as we can continue to play okay, we should be able to win the division. And then in the NFC, a lot of 2-loss teams, one-loss team, 49ers in the lead there, so hopefully we'll see. I'm sure that'll change a lot by the time we get to the end of the season. Now, looking at our schedule, we have Ravens, Patriots, and Dolphins coming up, so some big divisional games, and if we can win those, if we can go on a little winning streak, we're already on a 2-game winning streak, so if we can go on a 5-game winning streak, I think that will play a lot into us possibly clinching the division early on in the second half of the season. I don't know if we get through that. That would put us at, week 11, week 12. I don't think we'll be able to clinch it by then, but if we can go on a little bit of a winning streak, we can go a long ways into cementing our place in the playoffs this year. Last year did not go as planned, so the goal here, we got to be able to make a playoffs. If we do not, then I don't know if we're going to have to make some changes, maybe try and move teams, but still a lot of time left in this season. It's still not even technically mid-season. It's only week 8, so next time we're going to play this game on the road against the Ravens. You will see that one in the next episode, but that is it for this mid-season update. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give it a like. I would really appreciate it, and subscribe to see any future videos that I make. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.